Hello, Flanny friends. Oh dear, Twisted Metal. First off, it's a TV series and not a movie. If I had paid attention to the trailer, I probably would have realized that. But as it was, I was quite shocked when I pulled it up and saw it had 10 episodes. Granted, each episode is fairly short, only about 25 minutes, thankfully. The next thing I noticed was the description. Action comedy. So you're telling me the series about a psychopath, murderous clown, cannibalistic soldiers, demon-possessed preachers, and usually very fucked up endings is apparently an action comedy show now. Oh boy, this is gonna suck, isn't it? Before we even dive into it, as always, please consider liking and subscribing. I just sat through 250 minutes of this, so you don't have to. That's worth a sub, right? Now, on to Peacock's latest action comedy, Twisted Metal. To start with, there were some things I enjoyed in this show, which was a shock to me given my first impression of the trailer. First thing I was shocked by was Sweet Tooth. While not exactly the same from the game, he was still probably my favorite part of the show. First off, the look is really good. He's the only one I saw that I recognized. The rest of the tie-ins and characters I knew somewhat by name, but that's about it. When Sweet Tooth is on screen, it is usually chaos and carnage, and honestly, I just really liked him. I get he's a bad guy and villain, but I mean, come on.
You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
I would have much rather followed his adventures or the misadventures of the bumbling Mike and Stu than what we actually get. Not that our leads are bad. Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatrice do great with what they're given, and I do end up enjoying their characters. It's not Twisted Metal. And you may be asking, what do I mean by that? For that, let me take you back a bit to the games themselves. Twisted Metal is a series about insane people, some of which have supernatural abilities, and their insane cars, which usually match their over-the-top personalities and gimmicks. They fight to the death until one is left, at which point Calypso, the host of the tournament, offers them a wish. Normally, to fit the rather fucked up theme, Calypso has a habit of twisting their wish, or sometimes just giving them what they want because of poor wording. It's dark and fucked, and was very fitting for a time when games were trying to be seen as more than just something for children, which meant developers tried to get edgy and over the top with games. Think Mortal Kombat. That feeling just doesn't translate well to what we have here. Honestly, a better adaptation of over-the-top personalities and over-the-top vehicles with cool powers would honestly be Death Race. I mean, it really does have it all. One thing that it excels at far better than the Twisted Metal show is that it actually has vehicle combat. Yeah, for a show about a game where you kill people with vehicles, there's oddly not a lot of vehicle combat in the show. Out of the 10 episodes, I think there's only really 3 episodes that have it in it, and once again, it's not really the main focus. The closest we get to a true Twisted Metal is on the final episode, where it's an all-out brawl with machine gun, rockets, and more, but they're killing cannon fodder. There's no risk or excitement to it because aside from one of the antagonists, you don't really know any of the others who are dying, so it's just chaos for chaos' sake. And yet, sadly, still one of my favorite parts, because it was pretty fun. So much of this show is talking and hand-to-hand fighting, and to its credit, the hand-to-hand scenes aren't bad. It's just, I feel like when they wanted to do this, they didn't have any idea how to do car fighting satisfyingly enough. So they opted to do a buddy road trip with death instead. Which is frustrating, because there is actual lore I'm intrigued about. The OC that Quiet comes from is of particular interest that as far as I can tell doesn't get much info about it other than her time there. San Francisco is also left shrouded in mystery. Chicago, the supposed lair of Calypso, who's made out to be a bit of a joke. It's just, some of these choices are mind-boggling, and yet I see why they did some of them. Though, quite frankly, it kind of pisses me off a bit. Bit of spoilers here, but yeah. The biggest problem with Twisted Metal TV series is, it isn't Twisted Metal. Not just because it has nothing to do with the games, because you find out at the very end that this is all the setup for the actual Twisted Metal. Yes, you heard that right. Season 1 is just us getting to know our protagonist and the other racers he'll be competing against in the actual Twisted Metal competition, which I'm assuming is what they have planned for Season 2, if they have a Season 2. So yeah, my biggest complaint about the show is actually by design. That would be like if the Witcher TV show... Nope, not touching that one. Okay, maybe we try What If Scooby-Doo... Fuck. Man, TV is just fucked right now. Look, I don't know who asked for a Twisted Metal show. Considering their last game was in 2012 and there hasn't been more than rumors as to if we'll get another one, I just don't know who this is for. I remember very early on we got a scene of the actual game in the show. And I rolled my eyes at first, but then I thought, shit, this is as close we're actually going to get to the game, isn't it? And sadly, I was right. The problem is, it's really hard to recommend this show to anyone. If you want adult themes, blood, and gore, there are a lot of shows that do it better. If you want people fighting in cars, there's one that does that better too. And if you want funny and likable characters on a road trip from hell, oddly enough, there's one that does it better too. Because the truth is, if you're a Twisted Metal fan, I really don't think there's much here for you. That being said, I'm not going to lie, Season 2 might be good. I do now know the core cast, so seeing them fight and die could be interesting. But we really only spent any time with 3 or 4 of the racers from next season. The rest are completely unknown, and let's be honest, we don't even know if this is getting a second season. It's just such a bizarre idea. Use your first season to set up what everyone came to watch with hopes of getting a second go at it. I don't know, it's just a bit disappointing on my end. But what do you guys think? Have you seen the show? It's okay, you can be honest. Sweet Tooth was the best part. I get it. But yeah, that's all I got so far. I'm a bit bummed. But that's all I've got for now. Until next time, guys. Bye.